Why birds fly in AV formation? Study in ibises suggests the animals are giving each other a lift. Migratory birds fly in AV configuration, as anyone who observes the autumn sky will attest, but experts have long disagreed as to why. According to a recent study on ibises, these large birds deliberately place the tips of their wings where they will catch the updraft of the bird in front of them, saving energy while flying. Birds may fly in AV formation for one of two reasons: either it makes flight easier, or they are just following the leader. Many scientists believe that migrating birds fly in a similar arrangement to the V formation used by aircraft squadrons to save fuel. However, currents formed by airplanes are much more stable than the oscillating eddies flowing off of flapping birds, despite the fact that models that treated flapping birds as fixed-wing airplanes predict that they save energy by drafting off of one another. According to James Usherwood, a locomotor biomechanist at the Royal Veterinary College at the University of London in Hatfield, where the study was conducted, air becomes pretty darn wiggy behind a flapping wing. The study, published online today in Nature, took advantage of an existing project to reintroduce endangered northern bald ibises, Geronticus eremita, to Europe. Scientists used a microlight plane to show hand-raised birds their ancestral migration route from Austria to Italy. A flock of 14 juveniles carried data loggers specially built by Usherwood and his lab. The device's GPS determined each bird's flight position to within 30 centimeters, and an accelerometer showed the timing of the wing flaps. The birds flew directly behind and to the side of the bird in front, timing their wing beats to capture the ascending eddies, as predicted by aerodynamic calculations. To lessen the impact of the downdraft flowing off the rear of the bird, when one bird flew immediately behind another, the time of the flapping was reversed. Usherwood adds, "We didn't think this was conceivable. The achievement demands precise flight and tremendous awareness of one's neighbors." Perhaps these large birds flying in AV configuration can be compared to an airplane with movable wings. The findings likely apply to other long-winged birds, such as pelicans, storks, and geese, Usherwood says. Smaller birds create more complex wakes that would make drafting too difficult. The researchers did not attempt to calculate the bird's energy savings because the necessary physiological measurements would be too invasive for an endangered species. Previous studies estimate that birds can use 20% to 30% less energy while flying in AV. According to David Lentinck, a mechanical engineer at Stanford University in Palo Alto, California, who was not involved in the research, from a behavioral perspective, it's really a breakthrough. To be certain that the birds are drafting off of each other, however, the precise location of the eddies and the areas of downdraft would need to be measured on ibises, which would require flying them in a wind tunnel, a process that is far more intrusive than simply carrying a data logger. Showing that birds care about syncing their wing beats is definitely an important insight that we didn't have before. Scientists do not know how the birds find that aerodynamic sweet spot, but they suspect that the animals align themselves either by sight or by sensing air currents through their feathers. Alternatively, they may move around until they find the location with the least resistance. In future studies, the researchers will switch to more common birds, such as pigeons or geese. They plan to investigate how the animals decide who sets the course and the pace, and whether a mistake made by the leader can ripple through the rest of the flock to cause traffic jams. It's a pretty impressive piece of work as it is, but it does suggest that there's a lot more to learn, says Ty Hedrick, a biologist at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, who studies flight aerodynamics in birds and insects. However they do it, he says, birds are awfully good hang glider pilots.